Okay, we're in our final training for what is your net worth. Now I want to show you how you can grow your net worth. How do we, real estate investors, grow our net worth? I'm glad you asked. How do we do that? Well, let me rewind a little bit, because all of my training is really not about what you see. All of my training is here. I've got to get in your head and make you just look at the world a little differently than the way you've been seeing it, most of you. Now, why do I love real estate so much? I love real estate because we don't know the value of it the day you buy it. Let's think about the stock market for a minute. Let's look over here. We got the stock market. Let's say we've got some stock. I bought some Disney stock. Let's go ahead and use a real world example. I bought some Disney stock recently. I didn't buy it. My IRA bought it, right? I think I paid $98 for it. I stayed over here. I paid $98 for this Disney stock. It was just going up and up and up and up. So it went up and down, up and down. And finally, I decided it went up to $118. I paid $98 for it, right? It went up to 118. I should have sold it. So then it went back down to 92, and now it was up to 112, and then it went back down to 110. I finally sold it at $110,000. $110 per share. That'd be ludicrous. I sold it at $110 a share, but I bought it for $98 a share. The question you have to ask yourself when you're thinking about net worth: what is the value of that stock when I buy it? In the stock market, it trades dollar for dollar. In the stock market, I know there are many ways. A lot of you stock guys out there are going to try to challenge me, but there are many ways. I'm sorry. When you buy stock, if it's trading for $98, the instant you buy it, you have paid $98, which is the maximum value for that stock. So for me, when I bought that Disney stock, $98, I couldn't go down there and call up my broker or my IRA custodian and say, hey, I'd like to offer $50 for that stock. They're gonna laugh at me, right? They're gonna think I'm crazy. The good thing about real estate is when we buy it, we don't even know, who knows what the real value of it is. You might pay $100,000 for a piece of property that's worth $200,000, or conversely, you could pay $100,000 for a property that's worth $50,000, right? Who knows? It's all market driven. So what we like to do is what real estate investors like to do. We create net worth, instant net worth, by buying at a discount. Buying at a discount. What does that look like? So, opposite of the stock market, when you buy stock at $98, when you're buying that one stock, it's worth $98. So this is your asset, you bought it, and your liability, they're both the same. You bought it for $98 and it's worth $98. That's equal. So you technically are trading values, right? You're trading values. Your net worth is not changing. Your net worth is not changing when you buy stock value at that moment. Now, what real estate investors like to do, we like to create instant equity or net worth instantly when we go in and buy. How do we do that? I'm so glad you asked. So let's say we remember from our example before, we had a $150,000 house. Our $150,000 house is what we bought. The value is $150,000. That's what it's worth. Over here is our assets, right? So we've got one house that's worth, let me do a better 5 there. The house we bought worth $150,000. Now in our other example, we paid $150,000 because I considered us to be just an ordinary home buyer. Now what investors do, what we do, is we come in and we say, you know what? If the house is worth $150,000, I'm only going to pay, let's just say $130K, right? Matter of fact, well, we're buying it for, if it's worth $150,000, we're buying it for $60,000, to be honest with you. But for the sake of our conversation today and your training, I don't want to blow your mind too much. Hopefully you can see the example, or you will believe, because this is all based on our beliefs, right? You will believe that I could buy a $150,000 house for $130,000. So if the house is worth $150,000 and I go get a loan for $130,000, which is my liability, that's what I owe on it now. But the house value doesn't change, right? Doesn't matter if you pay $1 for the house. The value cannot change. That's what it's worth. If you pay $1 million for it, it's still only a $150,000 house. If you pay $10 for it, still it's only a $150,000 house. How is that value determined? Based on sales around you. It's based on the fair market value of the houses around you, okay? So how do we create our net worth? Right here on this example here, we got an instant $20,000 in net worth. That's taking our net worth up quickly. Now, how do we multiply that? We get another house. Let's say we got a house worth 100K, right? And we want to pay, we got a loan for, let me move this down here. We got a loan on this one for 80. So instantly we've got another $20,000 of net worth. So in this example here, remember we did our other example where the net worth was negative. We got a house worth 150, our assets on the left side, and we got a house worth 100. So this is $250,000 in assets. Now we have to take that, subtract from our assets what our liabilities are. What do we owe? These loans here. 130 plus 80, what's that gonna be? That's I'm terrible at math. 210, what's 100, 180? 210, yeah, $210,000. So we got 210, what we owe. This is our liability. So what we can do is subtract 210 from our 250. That leaves us with $40,000 of net worth, guys. You see how real estate investors can quickly and easily actually raise our net worth? And the reason we want to raise our net worth, because the more worth you have, you can create unearned income. Unearned income. Unearned income is taxed at the lowest tax bracket. Earned income is taxed at the highest. So we want our money out there in the street working for us, right? So we got $40,000 of net worth instantly buying these properties. That's why I love real estate, because you can buy an asset. You don't even know what the value is. You can buy it below or above, but you can always get a discount if you buy it the right way. Okay, so this is how real estate investors grow and create more net worth for our families and for the future of our incomes. All right, so thanks for watching. This is Chris Haskins, and don't forget, I'm gonna break my back doing this. Subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like the content below and comment on what we have so we can possibly, good gracious, comment on our videos so we can bring you the best training that you want to see and not stuff that I think you need to see. Okay, this is Chris Haskins signing off. I'll see you next time. Go out there and get some net worth.